Hey, welcome! If you're new here, subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit that like button. In today's video, she set her man up to get robbed. I won't hold you any longer. I'll let them tell you themselves.
Story time on how me and my bros, man, I almost got lined up by these female one night, man, thinking without digging shit, man, part one. So take me back, man, like shit, 5-6 years ago, man, it probably 2020, you feel what I'm saying, man, young nigga shit. I'm on straight young nigga shit, man, and me, my bro Mike, my other bro AJ. So, mind you, AJ on the run at this moment, you know what I'm saying, he on the run at this time. Fucking around, had work release in jail. Nigga decide one day he ain't gonna go back to jail. So this nigga on the run at this point, you know what I'm saying? So we kicking it, man, long story short. When we kicking it, AJ get a call. I guess he done met some female earlier that day. And she like him, you know what I'm saying? She trying to link with him. She asked him what he doing, what he on, do he got some friends? Shawty got 3 friends with her, you feel what I'm saying? They trying to get lit, they trying to link up. So Twin hit me with the move like, hey bro, what you on? I got these females, they trying to link up, hey, what you on? And nigga know me, I would have want you call for a situation like this. So let's go ahead and do it, man. Go and set it up. But Mike was transportation at that time, so we had to include Mike. We had to hit Mike with the move, cause that was the only way shit was gonna work out, cause you were the only one with a car at that time. So we hit Mike like, hey bro, what you trying to do? You on the shit or not? Bro said, yeah, let's do it. We like, bet for sure. Now, mind you, you know what I'm saying? Let me get out of scenery and shit, man. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, mind you. And we on the east side, you feel what I'm saying? East side, Atlanta, Georgia, man. Yeah, everybody know about the east, man. You know what's happening. So we on the east, man. Shouted call AJ. She say, meet us at the Stone Mountain Park. It's some hotels in Stone Mountain Park, if you know about Stone Mountain Park. So we like, bet shit, Stone Mountain Park. There ain't nothing. That right up the street. We gonna go ahead and slide to Stone Mountain Park. We make our way to Stone Mountain Park, man. As we pulling in, you feel me? As we pulling in, we see a Dodge. It's a Dodge. I forget what kind of car it was specifically, but it was a Dodge, and that motherfucker was burgundy with a gray bumper, silver bumper on that motherfucker. Burgundy with a silver bumper on that motherfucker. You can't miss it. You know what it is when you see it, but it was a Dodge. So that motherfucker pulling out as we pulling in. Simultaneously, Shawty hit AJ like, oh, can y'all meet us at the Chevron up the street? We just got caught up. She say, we just got caught up with some other shit. Can y'all meet us at the Chevron? We like, shit, you just got caught up. And she in a frantic when she saying it, so we ain't even really think too much of it, but it ain't sounding right. But we just like, shit, fuck it. We on the way to the goddamn Chevron. We on the move. As we on the way to the Chevron, finna go make that move, Shawty call us back again like, oh no, don't meet us at the Chevron no more. Can y'all meet us in Clarkston? Everybody who know about Clarkston, east side shit again, right off goddamn Memorial Drive, Clarkston, Georgia, man, you know what I'm saying? And out of foreign, shit get wicked in Clarkston. And I went to Tucker High School, so I'm familiar with that shit, you know what I'm saying, Clarkston area. Ain't nothing too foreign to me. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, bet, Clarkston, let's go ahead and slide over there. That's stomping ground. We got down, we'll be cool over there. Boom, shouting them, sending a load of Clarkston, you know, okay, boom, some apartments. We pulling in apartments. This when shit start getting shaded, though, shit start getting weird, because that we pulling in apartments, it's a car at the entrance of that motherfucker. Lights off, car not on, nothing. It's a young nigga in that bitch. He just sitting there though, all black on. He just sitting there looking mugging. Fishbowl though, so we see right through that motherfucker. But he mugging us though, like he mugging, you know what I'm saying? So we don't pay no mind. We go park, man. Go ahead and pull up. We ain't come here for that, nigga. We just went to go park, man. Pull up. We waiting on the females now. We step outside the car. We smoking shit like that. Mind you, we beat the females there, which ain't adding up anyway. We beat the females to the location. We sitting outside the car smoking. 10 minutes later, that same car that was just in the front of the neighborhood, in the front of the apartments, come riding by again, cruising. You feel me? Slow as hell, you feel me? Mugging though, like what you want to do? So like I say, bro, mugging though, like he ain't taking his eye off us at all. He like this here. You know what I'm saying? He mugging though. So we looking, we like, what you want to do? Like, what going on? Who the fuck is this? Bro keep riding down the street, you know what I'm saying? Mind you, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Shouting them finally pull up. They pull up on side of it. They get out of the car. We chopping it up, you know what I'm saying? We getting to know them, picking their brain and shit. Now, another thing that threw me out was the girl that AJ was on the phone with the whole time, orchestrating the whole move. She's not talking. She's mute now. She's not orchestrating no type of conversation, no type of nothing. She's not engaging in no type of conversation at all. So that threw me off once again. And it's a 3-man, mind you. We're on a 3-man, so it's 3 of us, 3 of them. The girl I chose on, per se, she's basically the only one talking as if I found this out later, but as if you could tell she was the one orchestrating all the backdoor setup activity that these females be having going on. You feel what I'm saying? So as we talking, Shawty get the goddamn trying to pick our brain, trying to figure out what the fuck we on, trying to see if we green, you know what I'm saying? But we ain't green, we knowing all this shit. But she get to talking, trying to pick our brain. So she asking questions like, oh, what y'all do? Y'all scam, y'all trap, y'all, what y'all do? Cause boom, my boy Mike had a wad of money in his pocket, you know what I'm saying? Sticking out, that motherfucker poking out, had a wad of money in his pocket, poking out, you know what I'm saying? So she saw the money. As she saw the money, she get to asking all these questions. But at the same time as Mike got the wad of money hanging out, you see 50 round though. He got 50 Glock, 50 round on him though. You know what I'm saying? Peanut butter Glock with a 50 round on him, you feel me? So she see that too. When she see gun on him, she get the accent. Oh, y'all must be them CD boys. Now, anybody who know about East Side shit, you know what I'm saying? Central Drive, CD. She thought we were one of them CD boys for whatever reason, but we telling her like, hell no, that ain't us. But goddamn, you know, we from the East End though. They where we be at though. But I could see her eye lit up as she saw that money, you know what I'm saying? As she talking to all three of us, the other friends, mind you, the other friends over there at the car, not talking, not saying nothing at all, not even engaging in no type of conversation. It's like they scared, like they waiting on something, like they anticipating something to happen. So I say, fucking, we don't pay it no mind, though. We thugging, man. We trying to get the business going at 2 o'clock in the morning, mind you. So, boom, I say, man, let's go ahead and split up. Y'all go on to who y'all choosing. I'm going to go on with who I chose. Me and Shawty hop in the goddamn front seat in the passenger seat. We chopping it up in the car. I'm picking her brain. She picking my brain. We're trying to pick my brain, but I'm picking her brain. Now, I'm real spiritual, so God be talking to me. We like this here. You feel what I'm saying? So, he be talking to me without me really in ways I only understand. So, as I'm talking to Shawty, picking her brain, she subconsciously telling me what the fuck the plan is tonight without knowing that she telling me this. So I'm getting to ask her about herself and shit. She telling me about her life. She talking about how everybody be on some setup shit with her. How everybody done tried to set her up, backdoor her. How all this shit be going on in her life about setup. All I'm hearing in my mind is set up, set up, set up, set up, set up. It's almost like God just telling me, hey, bro, watch. Hey, set up, nigga. Watch out. Set up. As all that going on, bro, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. It was real subtle, real quiet outside. But suddenly, a lot of commotion started happening out of nowhere. A lot of commotion in the background and folks I can't see, but I'm hearing voices and I'm seeing cars pull up. I'm seeing it get real active on the block at 2 a.m. You know what I'm saying? So as it get real active on the block, my boy AJ yell out, yo! He yell it out to me with urgency, like, yo, you watching your left? He said, yo, you watching your left, gang? I wasn't, but he put me on point. I get to watching my left like this here. I'm like, yeah, what going? The energy there, though, the energy there, like, I'm on point now. I'm like, shit, something wrong, what going? You know what I'm saying? That energy there. As I look to my left, though, get what car I see, though, bro? The Dodge from earlier when we were pulling in Stone Mountain, that got the burgundy exterior with the silver bump on it, bro. You feel me? So now I'm like, oh, hell no. So now I'm getting a little amped up. Shawty see that gorilla coming out, you know what I'm saying? Shawty see that energy. She like, oh, no. She tell me, hold on. She get on the phone and walk 50 yards down the road to go get on the phone as if she don't want nobody to hear that conversation that going on. So I don't pay no mind. Hop out the bros. I'm like, damn, y'all see what going on? Y'all see what, y'all peeping? Y'all on point? You know what I'm saying? Y'all on point? And mind you, bro, me and AJ don't got no fire right now, bro. Ask me why later, bro. I don't know why I ain't had no gun, but I ain't had no gun on me at this time. But Mike had 50 round on him, though, you feel me? So I'm paying attention, watching my surroundings, though. It's Shawty on the phone over there. Her friends, they still sitting on the car and not engaging in no type of conversation. So me and bros all in the huddle like this here. I'm watching. I look to my left, man, get to looking where I heard the commotion at all in the distance. I get to looking through the bushes. I see a nigga. He on the phone. It's a nigga on the phone through the bushes. I say, what the fuck? I look at Shawty. I'm peeping her mannerism and how she moving on the phone. Then I look back at bro. I'm peeping him through the bushes, how he looking on the phone, how he moving. I look back at Shawty. Now I notice these motherfuckers talking to each other, gang. I'm running out of time, man. I like to share that bit for part 2, man. I can't even keep the anticipation going too much longer, man. So shit, this part 2 on the time me and my bros almost got lined up by these female. Almost got backdoored by these female thinking with our dick and shit, man. Part 2. I gotta be so real, dog. Like, I'm really mad that goddamn I skipped hella shit. I skipped hella information, bro, from part 1 for real. I skipped so much shit, so I'm really mad I can't go back and re-record that video, but I just fill y'all in as we go. So before we get into part 2 for real, we gotta go back to part 1, you know what I'm saying, to give everybody a little rundown. So some shit I missed, you know what I'm saying, that was a little iffy when all this shit was going on. So as Shawty tell us, don't meet them at the Chevron, meet them at Clarkston, you feel me? AJ phone was on the verge of dying. So at his phone on the verge of dying, he tell me, hey bro, type in Shawty number, whatever, whoop whoop, get the texting her from your phone, just in case my phone die, we have a way to really contact Shawty still. So I'm like, I bet, man, I don't think too much of it. I just type in the number on my phone, shit, just doing a favor for the bro. But lo and behold, when I type in the number on my phone, shit, Shawty name pop up in my phone as if I know her, you feel what I'm saying? And long story short, shit, I know Shawty. You know what I'm saying? This shit small word. I know Shawty, she ain't too much of none though, ain't really nothing in the face, but she used to stay right next to me though, like I know where this bitch used to live at, you feel me? So I type in Shawty name on my phone, it pop up. AJ see it, he like, damn, he think I done hit little Shawty, but shit, I ain't even had no dealing with her, no nothing, you feel me? I ain't no messages, no nothing, but it's ironic that that's the girl that was trying to do this business, and she already in my phone, me not knowing. So that's just backstory. Boom, we on part 2 now. So boom, I left off at, when I get out the car now, Shawty walk 50 yards down the road to go get on the phone now. And then I see a nigga through the bushes. You know what I'm saying? He pacing through the bushes as he talking and shit. I get to looking at Shawty, I get to looking at both of them, and I'm noticing these motherfuckers talking to each other, you feel what I'm saying? So boom, as I see bro through the bushes, you know what I'm saying, they talking. When it really clicked in my mind that shit, these two motherfuckers talking to each other, shit, I instantly, I ain't do no talking, no nothing. Like, hey, I told both of my bro, hey bro, let's get in the car, bro, we gone, bro, we out of here, bro. I ain't even really too much say. It's a nigga right there in the bushes. I ain't even say too much, say all that. I ain't even do all that. I just peep nigga in the bushes. Oh, let go, we out. Anybody who know like shit, it really just God telling me to look through them bushes, cause I don't even know what told me to look through them bushes, but everybody who knows, nigga, if a nigga land on you, boy, and nigga that really wanna get you, boy, nigga ass in them bushes. But I could see they plan ain't going how they expected though, cause really they thinking we supposed to be goddamn, they probably thinking we supposed to be all in they face and too busy worrying about them and trying to get the business going instead of worrying about what could be going on in sight that we can't see, you feel what I'm saying? So they plan would probably to get us distracted to where we on focus on the females and then just get hit behind, get sticked up from behind or whatever the case is. But now, shit, God talking to me, I'm on point now, all my bros on point. So they plan just went a little kind of sour. So it's so much shit I'm thinking in my mind. I'm like, damn, bro, that nigga in the bushes and shit, I don't know who he got with him, you know what I'm saying? I don't know who he got with him, his stick-up team, whatever the case is. All I know is shit, I'm out here naked for real damn near. I don't got no fire, my boy AJ don't got no fire, my boy Mike only one with 50. Yeah, he got 50, but I ain't the type of nigga to sit here and let one nigga get into a battle with however many people, and I don't really know how many people it is, so I'm just thinking safe, cautious, like shit, we out, bro. I ain't even finna have you get into no bang out with no group of niggas and it be outnumbered situation. So as I tell bro them, I say, fuck that, bro, we gone, bro, let go, bro. I peeped the little situation. I say, fuck that, bro, we gone, we get in the car. I'm working back seat, AJ passenger, Mike driving. As we get in the car and shit, shouting them that's on the car that one talking the whole damn time, all of a sudden get all goddamn concerned about what we doing and what we got going on while we leaving. So they like, oh, why y'all leaving? What y'all doing? What wrong? Cause they see the energy at the same time. They see niggas ain't goddamn, niggas uptight right now. We ain't really trying to do no talking and we really stiff on shit because we know like, damn, these motherfuckers probably trying to line us. So they asking like, what you doing? What you doing? Why y'all leaving so early? Woo, woo, woo. Mind you, it ain't even early, shawty. It's 2:30 in the morning. You feel what I'm saying? What you talking about leaving? So as we leaving, shit, shouted it out, fucking with, she still over there on the phone. I ain't even too much mind in her business. She over there on the phone still, goddamn, I'm ready to pull off. Shit, as we finna pull off, I guess the little girl AJ was messing with the whole time. She trying to stall what I got from that situation. She trying to stall and give him a hug and talk to him and, oh, I'ma miss you, I'ma see you later, all this, just trying to prolong conversation to keep us down that spot. So I had to let that nigga come out of me like, man, get twin right. I had to say, man, fuck that bitch. I screamed it out like probably offended her and all, but no disrespect to no women, but that's just how it was in that moment. I just told him like, hey, fuck that bitch, because at this point, she trying to put our life in danger, gang, and you ain't seeing it. You too busy worrying about the pussy. Hey, fuck that bitch, we out. So twin see what going on, see, say we out, bet. He shut the door, we pull off. Mind you now, I just saw bruh over there in the bushes on the phone, nigga. I ain't just forgot about that. So I really do gotta see about that and what you on, cause I did just see bruh in the bushes. An apartment building right next to it, bro. Like right here to the left, like literally the next building, bro. So as we leave an apartment complex, we gotta pass that building. So as we cruising slow, and we got 5% tents on it, bitch. So you can't see in the car, but we cruising slow, you feel me? As we cruising by the apartment building, I see Holmes that I just saw through the bushes on the phone. He acting like he walking up the stairs to the apartment complex now to his door, acting like, oh shit, he was just outside on the phone parlaying. When now, motherfucker, I just saw you, boy. I just saw you laying on this, boy, like you ain't slick, you know what I'm saying? But I don't pay it no mind, though, because I ain't got no wham bam on me, so I ain't even trying to indulge myself in those situations that, you feel me, it ain't a possibility that I'm going to come out on top of, so I just go ahead and leave it alone. Shit, we pull out, but as we pulling off and leaving the neighborhood, the car that's sitting there, the burgundy motherfucker with the silver bumper that's sitting at the motherfucking apartment building, get to turning their headlights on that we pulling out the apartment, bro. Get the trailing behind. Now, we a good little distance away from them, though. We about a good 50 yards in front of them, though. But I peep, they turn their lights on soon we pull off and get to pulling off, you feel me? And I ain't even trying to be no goddamn dickhead, but shit. Now we see these niggas following her. They on our ass, right? But Mike, shit, his car was fucked up at the time, so that motherfucker really only go nothing but 45 miles per hour, about 45 miles per hour even. So yeah, we trying to get up out of there, but we ain't really going nowhere, you know what I'm saying? We ain't going nowhere. So when I peep these niggas on our ass and shit, bro, and I'm peeping shit, we ain't really got the motor in this vehicle to get the jet skirting through traffic. I tell Mike, I'm like, bro, shit, I'm working back seat, gang. Hand me 5. I say, fuck that, gang. Hand me 5. AJ say same thing. He thinking same thing. I'm thinking he like, shit, bro. Fuck that, bro. Hand me 5. At this point, we thinking like, shit. I'm working back seat. I got the most leverage. Goddamn, get off if anything go down. AJ probably thinking the same thing, but we really thinking like, shit. I don't want my life to be in another nigga hands right now. Anything like, I want my life to be in my hands, and I get myself out this situation with this 5. But I ain't gonna lie, Mike not hearing that shit though. Mike like, fuck that shit. Y'all boys ain't saying nothing. Nobody grabbing my gun. Boom, he one hand on the steering wheel, one hand whipping 50 out like this here. Boom, he getting ready to get out there. So we coming up to a stop sign now, but if you make the left, it leads you down to like a back road. If you make the right, it leads you to the main road and then a highway, you feel me, to get back on our side of town. So I tell Mike, say that, bro, if you ready, you gonna get like that then shit. If these boy get close to it, hit the left, man. They follow it, bro. You already know what to do, man. Go ahead and put that wham bam down. But I can't disclose too much, though. I can't say too much, but y'all like this bit for part 3, man.
My baby daddy cheated on me, and they said I had unalived the girl he had cheated on me with. Okay, so hear me out. This to say y'all was slow. I was slow over my baby daddy. He was my first love, but I've moved on. I have a man who makes over 6 figures, so clap for me. Okay, anyway, so what had happened was I was pregnant with our first son, and my baby daddy had finished high school. No, I'm lying. My baby daddy had turned 18 before he finished high school. So he had moved back to a different part of Kansas, Parsons, Kansas, actually, to go stay with his auntie. Now, he was supposed to be staying with his auntie going to school. Yeah, he started hanging around with the wrong crowd, and he said F school. So he started hanging around Sabrina and my cousin JJ them, right? So JJ and Sabrina used to date. So Quentin, my brother's friend, had called me. He was like, I just want to let you know that Stevie messing around with Sabrina. And I was like, are you sure? He was like, yeah, no, for real, I'm trying to tell you. And I was like, are you for real? Because, you know, I'm young and I'm done and I'm pregnant and you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah. He like, I'm trying to tell you. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep an eye out on him. So then we had his cousin at Tay house out in the gates. And I think Sabrina had came and like picked us up and we all went somewhere. But it was the way they was acting in the car. Like, now that I'm, like, mature, like, I know now, I'm like, oh, yeah, they was definitely fucking. I don't know how I didn't, you know what I'm saying? But I'm so oblivious to the situation at the time. So, when we in the car and I just know. So, I asked her. We get back to her house, I asked her. She goes, no, I'm not messing with him, blah, 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 blah. Well, then because remember, she go with my cousin JJ. So my cousin JJ called me. I'm at work one day. My cousin JJ called me. He like, Key, I just want to let you know that Stevie and Sabrina has been fucking. I said, for real? So my little heart is just broke. I'm sliding down the wall and shit like that. Because this was my first everything. Like, I lost my virginity to this man. This was my first literally everything. So I'm like really fucking heartbroken. So then my mama had to come pick me up from work. And she was like, let me tell you something, baby. She was like, your first heartbreak feels like a death because it's like a part of you is dying. And she said, after this, you ain't gonna never let a man hurt you like that. And I promise to God, after that, ain't no other man ever hurt me like him. Period. So I'm at the house, and I'm like, I'm taking a little second to myself, like I'm crying or whatever. I get up, I get in my sister's car. I drive it's like 40 minutes. I drive all the way to the girl house. So I'm like, she didn't have a doorknob on her front door. So you could just kind of like walk in the house because it didn't have a doorknob on it. My baby daddy cheated on me, and they said that I unalived the girl that he cheated on me with. So so she ain't had no doorknob on her door, so you could just kind of like push the door open, right? So when I get there, I kind of just like, oh no, that's not what happened. When I went there, his cousin Mark, he was in the house, and I don't think JJ was there, but I know like my cousin DC was there, and her husband was there, and yeah. So then they wouldn't let me in the house. So the doorknob, like I said, it didn't have a doorknob, but I had a knife. So I was like, because they were trying to like, no, don't let you, they wouldn't let me in the house. So I was like stabbing through the door. I think Mark said I stabbed him. I don't remember. I probably did. And then I'm like stabbing through the door. So I'm like, open the door. They're like, no, kid, we not answer. We not open the door. So I think she ended up calling the police on me or whatever. So the police end up coming or whatever. I don't care. So when the police get there or whatever, he want to come outside. Like everybody came outside, and like right before the police had came, and he's like, "That's not even my baby." It's like, boy, stop. Yes, it is. So he was trying to like act all funny, cute in front of her. I guess. So the police end up coming or whatever. And they came and they was like, what happened? What's going on? So the officer looked at me. He was like, can you please just leave tonight? Like, come back in the morning or something. And I was like, oh, I can come back in the morning? He was like, yeah, just come back in the morning. Like, just please just go. I ain't got time for this. So I'm like, all right, I'll just come back in the morning. So I drive all the way back to Missouri. Then the next morning, like he said, come back tomorrow. So I got in the car, drove all the way back, parked the car down the road, walked down the road. Remember, there's no doorknob on the door. I know that everybody is asleep in the house. So I politely pushed the door open. My cousin JJ was on the couch. So I'm like, JJ, where they at? He was like, oh, cousin, they in the room. So I walked in the room. They in the bed asleep. I look at them. I jumped on the dresser. And she sleep. So I jumped on the dresser. And I got the bed is like by the wall. So I hold the wall and I'm just like A-Town stomping on her head. A-Town stomping on her head and his head. So, because don't think that I left him out. So I'm stomping on both of their heads. He grabbed me, threw me outside. And so then, yeah, he threw me outside or whatever. I ended up going back to Missouri. And I don't know what happened, but so the story has fast forward now. To like, cause I think I was like 5 months pregnant around that time. So when I was almost done pregnant, so I had to be about 8 months. My baby daddy cheated on me with a girl, and they said I unalived the girl. This is part 3. So I'm 8 months pregnant now. So it was like 3 months in between that situation and this situation that's about to happen. So she ended up moving to my town, right? And I knew she moved into my town. I just didn't know where she moved into my town. So when I didn't know where she lived, I hit her up. I acted like I was my cousin Bubba. And I was like, she was a big time hoe. So I hit her up and I'm like, where you at? And she was like, oh, I'm at home. And I was like, oh shit, I'm trying to see you. You trying to suck some dick? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. She sent me your address. I'm on the way. So she sends me her address. Dumb. So I go up in there. So when I knock on the door, So when I knock on the door, she comes to the door. She was like, Kiki, I have not messed with him. I did not mess with him. I don't even, he in there sleep, but I promise you I didn't. She's trying to like plead her case. I'm like, yeah, girl, get out the way. So Chief is in there. And he was like, Man, Key, don't start. Don't. I'm about to go get him up. I'm about to go get him up. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing over here? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. So then, fast forward. Now we got to fast forward some time. And everybody was like kicking it at her house. Like, her house was kind of like the kicking spot for a second. I don't know why. But like, not like this one particular day was the kicking spot. So me, I'm over there. My brother KJ over there. Stevie's there, of course. My homegirl Ja'Cory's there, and it's like some other people over there. Like, yeah, like some other people, or whatever. Because I think at this time she was messing with my other cousin. She was with my other cousin, but she was about to suck my other cousin's dick. She was a hoe, and so he was like, "Well, just come over to Sabrina's house. We about to go kick it at Sabrina's house." I'm like, "All right, cool." So we all go over there. Mind you, I'm pregnant, right? And the girl was like in her room, like throwing up. Like I don't know what was wrong with the girl, but she's like throwing up. Like she threw up like a trash can full, and I was like, I was just looking like, what the fuck is going on with her? Like, what the fuck is wrong with her? I don't know, but she was like, like it was one point she was on the floor and she's like, water, and I was looking like, bitch, you gonna die before I give you some water. You must forgot. I did not forget that you was fucking on my nigga. You gonna die before I give you some. And so my friend was like, I give her some water. So I was like, you're going to have to because I'm not. So she gave her some water. Mind you, the girl's still alive. Like, So then finally we all over there kicking it, like literally, like we just chilling out or whatever, drinking or whatever. And then, well, they was drinking. And then the girl is like literally on the floor, like about to die. Nobody, even her friend, nobody would call 911 for the girl. So I was like, my baby daddy cheated on me when I was 5 months pregnant and I left his ass. Okay, so this is the comment. This is the moneymaker. So it said, I understand baby number 3, but 4 is where you lost. Okay, so let me explain something. So baby number 1, 2, and 3, they all kind of like back to back to back. 15, 16, and 17. So baby number 2 came in October of 16. I was pregnant again by December of 2016. So I was already pregnant again. And so within that, he telling me like, oh no, I'm just with her, because he was still around. He wasn't even really over there like that in the beginning, right? So by the time we get there, it was like, I didn't even let him come to the delivery of baby number 2 because I'm like, nope, you on over there, you need to stay over there. He was with her when I had the baby. He wasn't with me when I had the baby. And because I was like for real dumb, but then it was like, man, I just kind of want my family back, blah, 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 blah. Like I'm only with her because income tax is about to come around and I know she gonna give me the whole income tax. And if you think she did not give him that income tax, you dumb. She definitely gave up that income tax. And so I already got pregnant, believing the lies. I'm young, I'm dumb, I didn't know any better. So that's when baby number 3 came up. But baby number 3, I lost baby number 3 around March 2017, right? Okay. From March 2017 till 2020, well, yeah, even 2020, because I wasn't with him then either. I was with my second baby daddy. I wasn't with my baby daddy. So after that situation, it was done. It was like, we didn't touch each other for years. That was over with. That was done. But we was just arguing like, well, you ain't coming to get the kids. You need to come and get the kids. Why you not doing nothing for the kids? Can they get their haircut? Bitch, I'm not paying for their haircut. You need to go find a nigga to pay for their diapers and all that crap. And they was actually going over to their house. So in between these years, the kids was going over there. Whether I had to drop them off, they were still going. And then all of a sudden, they just stopped getting the kids. They just stopped getting them, stopped doing everything. I don't know why. They went homeless a couple times and all that good stuff. But number 4 came, and I already told y'all, so you're going to go back in the videos and go watch how number 4 came. But before that happened, my second baby daddy had wrecked my car. And my second baby daddy had got mad at me and called himself breaking up with me because he was mad that I was mad that he had wrecked my car. And then when he broke up with me, that's how, my baby daddy got to come over to my house because my second baby daddy, he wasn't having it. My first baby daddy could not come to my house. He wasn't having that shit.
Imagine this. You make videos on your TikTok about nursing because Black nurses are few and far between, especially Black labor and delivery nurses. You go out one night, the one rare night you have out because you work so much. You get assaulted by a man. You don't speak about the assault because you're hoping that the club will do the right thing. The club doesn't. You're struggling mentally and physically. You post for your 189 followers, 186 followers, because you're struggling and you need help, thinking no one's gonna see it because you don't have many viral videos. Hell, any. You're a very small creator. You're very niched. And somehow this video blows up. It gets 1 million views. And instead of being supportive, people are attacking your friends who also experienced the most traumatic shit of their life. They're attacking you, calling you everything but a child of God for not knowing how to navigate a situation where you were assaulted, the most traumatic shit of your life. And then you see influencers using your story for clickbait without reaching out to you. And then, right before your big exam, someone sends you a video telling you that one of these influencers has obtained the footage of you being assaulted and is somehow trying to spin it into you being a liar, but it is only going to validate everything that you said. And the most traumatic event of your life is going to be playing on social media for all to see. Like, what the fuck? I have been trying not to respond to the negative comments because they are few and far between. But I am a real person who spoke out about my assault, hoping to get support from my very few followers. And somehow I'm the blame for my assault, and somehow my friends are to blame. You are upset because my friends are not Ronda Rousey and Clarissa Shields, but somehow the club full of men are absolved. I don't get it. I don't get it. I absolutely hate when people get on the internet and cry. It's so ugly. But can you imagine going on TikTok to try to get some giggles after failing? And yes, I failed the hardest exam of your life, only to see someone clickbaiting the video of you being assaulted and somehow saying, don't believe everything you see on the internet. What? And I'm not even gonna go into all of the messages I've got from women who have been insulted, not only at the same club, but in LA in general. Okay? Like, y'all hate women. Y'all especially hate Black women. And I've always known that, but it's so crazy to be on the receiving end of that. And it's also crazy because all of the hate is coming from Black women and Black men. Calling me stupid for a situation that you weren't in and you weren't fucking there. That's crazy. People going so far as to even say, is she even a nurse? What is wrong with y'all? I don't even know what else to say because this situation shouldn't have happened, number one, but number two, could have been handled so differently by all parties involved to make this less traumatic for me, and it wasn't. It just wasn't. And I'm trying to move on. I'm trying not to stew on it. I'm trying to make my cute little nursing videos, but god damn. I say all of that to say that there is a real person on the other end of this screen, on the other end of this page. And It's very harmful when you guys victim blame, okay? And I've also got a lot of DMs saying, I don't mean to victim blame, but insert victim blaming. I am trying to move on with my life physically. It's fucking. I'm trying to move on with my life physically and mentally and legally, which is why I'm not responding to a lot of the messages. But could you imagine the worst experience you've ever experienced in your life being circulated online for all to fucking see? I'm not gonna stop posting because I feel like that's what the enemy wants, right? And I was talking to my friend today, and earlier this year, one of my other friends, she bought me a social media planning book because I told her how I wanted to really get serious about my social media because I felt like I really had a niche as a Black labor and delivery nurse who was in school for midwifery. And she got me this book to like plan my social media out and really start taking this seriously. And my other friend was saying, like, you were asking for this, like, so here it is, right? Ride this wave. So I'm not gonna run and hide into a corner, but I want you guys to know, like, the comments that you're leaving on your phone, on your couch, at home, from the safety of your home, they affect a real fucking person. And it doesn't matter if I ignore. People are still gonna DM me the shit that you say in these fucking videos. And I cannot understand for the life of me how the most traumatic event for me is circulating online and how some influencer is holding it hostage for clickbait. I'm not even mad that it's gonna be posted because if it's posted, I will be exonerated, okay? It will validate everything I said from beginning to end, which is why I included everything in the story, because I didn't want to tell parts of the story and people come back later and be like, oh, well, why didn't you include this part, right? But you guys can blame me for everything. Nothing, and I mean nothing, validates what happened to me. And there's this false narrative going around of me going back in the club and turning up. I would love to see that part on the video. There was no turning up. There's me sitting in the corner, debriefing with my friends about what the fuck just happened and how it even happened. I did not expect this video to blow up. And part of me wants to say if I knew how it would have blown up, I wouldn't have even posted it. But so many women have reached out and said, like, they're so grateful I did. God damn. I really hate that y'all turned me into that cliche bitch crying on the internet. It's so ugly, and I'll never forgive you. My life is not clickbait. I have to live this life every day. I have to live with the effects of this situation every day. And I'm trying to move forward, which is why I posted that video. And the video of me being assaulted being sent to me is not cool. Even in the still posted, you can see that I have my arm out. I have my fucking arm out in the video. So what is the conversation? And to everyone telling me to delete the videos, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna delete the videos. Okay, thank you to all the TikTok lawyers. But I'm not gonna do it, okay? I'm not gonna run. I'm not gonna run because this thing happened to me and I'm a real person. Okay, and it wasn't okay. No matter what kind of justification you come up with in your head, it's not okay.
Story hits different because it's showing you how predators operate in layers. It's not just one red flag, it's a whole system. The location keeps changing, the girl goes silent, there's a car that was there before, now there's a dude in the bushes. Most people get so caught up in what they want that they miss the pattern. But this guy, he was paying attention. He felt it in his spirit before his brain could even process it. That's the difference between people who make it out and people who don't. And it's not about being paranoid. It's about being aware. Awareness saves lives. The baby daddy situation is heartbreaking because you watching it happen in real time. She's pregnant. She knows he's with another girl, but he tells her lies about income tax, and she believes it because the alternative, being alone, raising a kid by herself, admitting she was wrong, is too painful. So she ignores what's right in front of her face, and it costs her years, multiple kids, stabbing through doors, getting thrown out of houses. One bad decision or one person's betrayal just compounds over time. The trauma changes you. She went from hopeful to hardened. And that's what happens when you choose comfort over truth. The lie feels better in the moment, but destroys everything later. What's wild about the setup story is that the guy had no gun. His boy had the only one. He was outnumbered and didn't know how many people were actually out there. But he moved anyway. He didn't let fear paralyze him, and he didn't let ego make him stand and fight. He just left. And that's survival. A lot of people die trying to prove something or look tough. He prioritized breathing over looking brave. That's maturity. That's understanding that you can't win every battle, and some situations aren't worth engaging with at all. The smartest move sometimes is the one where you just walk away. The assault story is different because it's about what happens after trauma goes public. She didn't do anything wrong. Nothing. But the internet doesn't care about that. Strangers decided she was lying or stupid or asking for it. Her own community, Black women, Black men, came at her hardest. And now her worst moment is being edited and reposted for clicks. Influencers are making money off her pain. She has to live with that every single day. That's the new kind of violence. It's not physical, but it cuts deep because it's public and permanent. Everyone gets to have an opinion about your worst night. Everyone gets to judge you from their couch. Something that sticks is how that girl in the setup was using femininity as a weapon. People expect women to be honest or harmless, so she used that against them. She was asking questions to figure out if they had money, if they had guns. Running game the whole time while they thought they were just flirting. That's calculated predatory behavior that people don't always see coming because it doesn't look threatening. It's pretty and charming and manipulative. And that's dangerous because you let your guard down around it. The baby daddy girl eventually got with a man making 6 figures and moved on. But that's not the lesson. The lesson is she finally chose herself. It took years and multiple kids and a lot of pain, but she stopped accepting the chaos. And that's growth, even if it came late. She had to hit rock bottom, literally being homeless, losing custody temporarily, having legal issues, before she said enough. That's tragic, but that's also real for a lot of people. Sometimes you have to lose everything to understand what matters. In that setup story, the guy was reading behavior, not just words. The girl suddenly stopped talking. Her friends weren't engaging. The energy was wrong. Most people ignore that stuff because they want what they want, but actions always tell the real story. Words are cheap. Anyone can say anything. But how someone acts, that's the truth. And that's what saved his life. He paid attention to what people were doing, not what they were saying. The nurse's story shows how vulnerable you become when you speak up publicly. She posted looking for support from a small community, and it exploded. Now her assault is being weaponized, edited, turned into content. And she can't just move on. It's still circulating. That's the cost of vulnerability in the social media age. People will use your pain for engagement. And the worst part is knowing that someone literally has footage of the worst moment of your life, and they're deciding how to profit off it. That's violation on top of violation. Being in the wrong place at the wrong time is real. That setup guy was just trying to have fun, but suddenly he's in a robbery ambush. Knowing your surroundings, knowing exits, having people you trust. That's not paranoia, that's just being aware. Survival 101. You gotta know where you are and who's around you and what the quickest way out is. That's not living in fear, that's just being smart. What's messed up is how people attacked that nurse without being there. They had opinions anyway, called her stupid, a liar, attention-seeking. Why? Because it was easy. Because the internet rewards cruelty when there's a crowd behind you. It's mob mentality, and it's ugly. People will say things online that they would never say to someone's face. There's no accountability, so the worst version of people comes out. That baby daddy story shows how desperation can make you ignore everything. She knew better. She had already been stabbed through a door, but she came back because the alternative felt worse. That's how cycles keep going. People stay in bad situations because leaving feels impossible. And sometimes it is impossible in the moment because you don't have resources or support or clarity. But staying costs you too. It costs you your peace, your dignity, your future. The trauma and betrayal in these stories change people. That girl went from hopeful to jumping on dressers and stomping people in their sleep. That's what repeated betrayal does. It hardens you. It makes you violent. It makes you someone you don't recognize. And that's the cost nobody warns you about. They tell you to leave a bad relationship, but they don't tell you that leaving breaks something in you. That you might become someone meaner, colder, less trusting. That you might hurt people who didn't deserve it just because you're trying to protect yourself. In the setup, the guy had one advantage. He was with people he trusted, and they had each other's back. When he said, "Let's go," they moved. No questions, no hesitation. That loyalty in a dangerous moment is everything. You can't survive solo in those situations. You need people who will listen to you and move with you, even if they don't fully understand. That's real friendship. That's real loyalty. The nurse couldn't delete the assault video even if she wanted to. It exists now. It's out there. Her trauma is merchandise. The algorithm doesn't care about her well-being, just the engagement numbers. That's the reality of speaking up in 2025. You're not a person anymore. You're content. Your pain is currency. And once it's out there, you can't take it back. What gets me is how that baby daddy girl kept giving chances. She knew better, but she wanted to believe the lies. And by the time she finally left, years had passed. Multiple kids, legal issues, ongoing drama with someone who never cared about her. The longer you stay, the harder it is to leave. It's like quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. Sometimes the only way out is to accept that you're stuck and start digging slowly. The setup story guy trusted his instinct even when he couldn't fully explain it. That's rare. Most people need logic before they act. But intuition is your body reading signals your brain hasn't processed yet. When something feels wrong, it probably is. Your gut is smarter than you think. It's picking up on micro expressions, tone shifts, energy changes that your conscious mind hasn't caught up to. Honor that. Don't ignore it just because you can't rationalize it. Real talk, these stories show that bad situations rarely announce themselves clearly. They sneak up. They use your desires against you. They use your love against you. They use your vulnerability against you. And once you're in it, getting out costs something. Time, money, safety, peace of mind. There's always a price for staying too long. The internet made everything worse for that nurse. In another era, her trauma would have stayed local. People who knew her would support her. But now, it's global. It's permanent. It's being used by people she's never met for profit. That's a new kind of hell that previous generations didn't have to deal with. And that's the world we're in, where your worst moment can become viral, where strangers can weaponize your pain, where speaking up costs you more than staying silent would have cost you. That's not right, but that's reality.
Attempted murder on my mom's husband's mistress. So let's talk about how I was 16 years old and charged with premeditated attempted murder. So first, I'm just going to break everything down, like the details, and then if y'all still want to hear my story, we can continue with that on the next clip. But basically, I was 16 and I went to jail, and then I was 17 when I went to prison. I had got 16 years, which is 200 months in DOC, and after like a year and a half of being in prison, I was able to drop my time and only have to do 7 years, which was really a blessing from God, because without him, it would have never happened. So my main charge is premeditated attempted murder following like aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, armed burglary with a deadly weapon, but that's my main charge that everyone sees and talks about. So basically, I had got attempted murder on my mom's husband's mistress. I know it sounds crazy, but like a Lifetime story, I hear that a lot too. But yeah, my mom's husband's mistress. So yeah, my mom's husband was cheating on her with his mistress, and they used to have like drug binges, and my mom was not with that. So usually he would go off and cheat and come back, but this time he did not come back, and it literally drove my mom insane, and to the point to where she wanted this lady to die. And she tried to get some of my friends to do it, my boyfriend to do it, and it just wasn't going as her plan. So me being her child, her best friend, someone that was willing to do anything for her, she wanted me to kill this lady. And basically what happened was I attacked her with a machete, and everything just went left after that. So if you want to hear my story and how everything happened and how I came out of it, leave a like, comment, share it, whatever, but just let me know. So let's dive into part 2 on how I went to prison for premeditated attempted murder. Okay, so basically I was 16 and I was living with my dad, and I've lived with my dad my whole life, but I decided to go live with my mom because she let me have more leeway, more freedom. She wasn't as strict as my dad. So when I moved in with her, it wasn't nothing unusual at first. It was the same routine. Basically, I had 5 brothers who literally were my everything. They were 12, 6, 5, 3, and 2 at the time. And basically, like my mom, she was so like obsessed with stalking this girl's page and stalking my stepdad's page that she really wasn't taking care of them how they should be taken care of, which basically led to me taking them to school, picking them up from school, cooking dinner, making sure they had breakfast on the weekends when they weren't at school, taking them to their ball games, their ball practices, doing homework with them, making sure they all had baths and was in bed at a certain time so they can get up for school the next morning. I was 16 being a mom to 5 kids, which I was used to it, but this time it was a lot more because my mom wasn't there to help me. And also, I had a boyfriend, and my mom was kind of like use him against me. Like, oh, if you don't watch the kids today, you can't go see your boyfriend. Oh, if you don't watch the kids, you can't go get your nails done. You can't go out with your friends. And I was 16 at the time, so it's like, okay, I will watch the kids if you let me go out. Like, I will do anything you want me to do if you let me go out with my boyfriend or my friends. You get what I'm saying? That's how my mind was at 16. And so since I was always watching my brothers, they would give me headaches because they're so loud and they're just always over the place, and I would get bad headaches. And so I would tell my mom, like, hey, Mom, like, I have a headache. Can you give me some medicine? And she'll be like, sure. And she'll give me headache medicine. But in the end, I found out that it was not headache medicine. I found them in the cabinets, and I confronted her on it. She tried to manipulate me into saying that I needed them. And it was anti-psych meds, antidepressants, those type of medicines. And basically, when I had got locked up, I had like a therapist or whatever come evaluate me, and they basically told me, like, if you take those type of meds and you don't need them, it can have a backwards effect. So basically make me crazy when I'm not crazy, if that makes sense. And she was also giving me this like green tea, and I just thought it was some type of green tea that was supposed to help you with headaches and being sick, but it turns out that it was some type of drugs in the green tea. I don't know, that's just what the investigators told me on that part. So basically, getting more into the story, she tried to get one of my good friends to do it. I'm not going to name any names, just off of respect for them. But she tried to get one of my good friends to do it, and it just ain't go as she wanted it planned. Basically, he used her, like, oh, I'll do it. But she was giving him her car, money, all types of stuff. And basically, he was just using that as an advantage. And when that didn't go as planned, she tried to get my boyfriend to do it. And he's also my co-defendant. But So basically, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, da, 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 just like to persuade her into thinking he's gonna do it. So she would stop like hounding him, because she was like texting him like back to back, asking if he was gonna do it, like becoming like really crazy. And in the end, he basically told my mom like, yo, I'm not gonna do that, da, da, da. So that's when she turned to me and was like, you're gonna, I'm trying to say the word, but get rid of her, basically. And I just did not know what to do. Like, you want me to do what? Huh? Like, I've never even been to juvenile. I've never even had a referral in school. And you want me to do what to this lady? You're crazy. Basically, I did not know what to do. I didn't want to tell anybody because I didn't want my mom to get in trouble. Like, my boyfriend used to tell me, you need to go back and live with your dad. You were better off with your dad. But I didn't want to tell my dad because I didn't want him to get my mom in trouble. And then my brothers, like, I felt like if something happened, what was going to happen to my brothers? So basically, I stayed in that situation for my brothers because I felt like my mom wasn't in a position to take care of them because of things that would happen when I would think she could take care of them. So basically, after like a month or two goes by of her planning everything, she had a whole plan. She wanted it done with a gun. She wanted me and my boyfriend to run up in there and basically tie the lady up, tie her kids up and lock them in the bathroom and duct tape their mouths and hold her at gunpoint and steal all her money and then shoot her in the head. And it was just like crazy because you want me to do what? Like, I was just like, I was very depressed going through it at the time. I was just scared. I was a scared teenager. I didn't know what to do. So my mom ended up giving me a deadline. Basically, hold on, what was it? October 18th was the fair, Midnight Madness. And my mom was basically like, this is the day it has to be done because if you don't do it, then you can't go to Midnight Madness with your boyfriend. And back in the day when I was a kid, Midnight Madness was a big thing. That's when everyone popped out, dressed nice, you know, fair rides, fair food. It was just fun for teenagers. And that's what I wanted to do with my boyfriend. And basically she was trying to take that away from me. And I was just like, fine, like, just, I would do whatever you want. Just don't take away like my freedom. Like, don't take away my sanity, because going out with him or with my friends or just leaving that house, period, just was like a weight lifted off my shoulders because I didn't have to deal with my brothers. I didn't have to deal with my mom's crazy thoughts of what she wants to happen to this lady. So basically she gave me a deadline, and one day on that deadline I was out with my boyfriend and his homeboy, and basically she called me going off saying that I'm grounded, I can't go out with him, I can't go get my nails done, I can't go to the fair, I can't do this, I can't do that, I'm gonna be stuck at the house with my brothers forever because I wouldn't, you know, kill this lady. So basically I was crying, like I didn't know what to do, and my boyfriend's homeboy went and got me a machete. Now that sounds crazy, but he went and got me a machete. And basically, it was not planned to be used. It was just to persuade my mom. Basically, persuade her into saying, it's going to happen. We have the weapon. It's going to happen. But not really happen. You get what I'm saying? So basically, he puts the weapon in the car. We go to my mom's house. I tell her to come outside. And I show her the weapon. And she was just like, what are you going to do with that? And I was just like, I don't know. Because really, we weren't going to use it. It was not supposed to be used. It was just supposed to persuade her into thinking it was going to happen. You know, hopefully she comes to realization that this is not a good thing to do. And she just stops talking about it. So basically, she tells me to go inside. I go inside with her. So we get to the room, and she already has my clothes laid out on the bed. It's a black jacket, black pants, black shoes, and she also has a separate pair of clothes next to the bed, and it's just another like fit, basically, because she said I was gonna have blood all over me. So basically what she told me was that she wanted me to cut the lady's head off. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what she wanted me to do. Basically how she described it was, if you ever watched The Walking Dead, the lady Michonne who has the machete and she cuts the zombie's head off. That's what she wanted me to do. And I'm like hysterically crying at this point. So basically when it's time, I go outside and I get in the car. It's raining and I'm crying driving, and basically my boyfriend was like, pull over, like you're no fit to drive, like you're crying, it's raining, I don't even have my glasses on to see the road. So I pull over and he gets in the driver's seat, I get in the passenger seat, I'm just crying and crying and crying. I got the machete in my pants because I didn't want, like, we got pulled over for them to see it, like I've never like committed a crime before. So basically he ended up taking me to a street in front of the victim's house. Right, the street in front of the victim's house. Mind you, I already knew where the victim lived because my mom had pulled up on her before, trying to fight her because my stepdad was over there with the kids, and it was just a lot. So my boyfriend ended up driving a street in front of my victim's house, and basically he looked at me and was like, I don't want you to do this, you just need to go back and live with your dad, and it was better at your dad's, your mom is crazy. But me, I just could not tell my dad or anybody because I didn't want my mom to get in trouble. I didn't want anything to happen to my brothers because they needed me at the time. So, and I'm just crying, I'm like having an anxiety attack at this point, and I get out the car. And I got out the car and I walked all the way to my victim's house, and I get to her house, trying not to cry. I'm good. So I get to my victim's house, and basically her door, basically you could see into it. It was like one of those glass doors. And I looked in, and she's literally at the kitchen table doing homework with her kids. Okay? She's doing homework with her kids. And I was just saying to myself, like, this lady does not deserve this. Like, she's a mom, just like my mom. She has kids, just like my mom has kids. And I couldn't even think of anything happening to my brothers, because about my brothers, like, I don't know what I would do to somebody if somebody hurt them. So I was just like she got kids and she's doing homework with them. Like, I can't do this. Like, I'm just gonna go back and live with my dad, and I'm gonna take my brothers with me. That's what I was thinking at the time. I was going crazy. And so my victim gets up from the table and she starts walking towards the door. And I thought she was just gonna go into the hallway because there was a hallway right there. I thought she was gonna go into the hallway to go to the room or use the bathroom or something. So I get to the side of the door so she wouldn't come outside and see me. Like I moved so she wouldn't see me and come outside, basically. So when I moved, like I'm just like standing there like, oh my God, please don't come outside. Please don't come outside. Like I will leave. I'm gonna leave. Don't come outside. And with my luck, the lady came outside. When the lady came outside, I guess she came outside to smoke a cigarette and she didn't want to do it around her kids, or she just don't smoke in the house. I don't know. But she came outside to smoke a cigarette. And when she looked at me, she screamed. She screamed so loud. And I just took the machete and I swung on her. And I blacked out. So this video is already kind of long, but this is just basically the part that led up to me attacking the lady with the machete and why I got premeditated attempted murder at the age of 16 and went to prison. So if you want to hear how everything else happened, when I attacked her, what happened after I attacked her, what happened in prison, and where me and my mom are at now in each other's lives, just like, comment, share, whatever, just let me know. Part 3 on how I ended up in prison on premeditated attempted murder. So just a little recap for the people that are joining in. Basically, I went to prison at 16 for premeditated attempted murder on my mom's husband's mistress. I know that sounds crazy, but it's what happened. So basically, my stepdad was cheating on my mom with this other lady, and my mom wanted me to basically unalive this lady. And in the end, I ended up attacking her with a machete, and everything just went left after that. Where I left off at, I was at her house with the machete, and she ended up coming outside to smoke a cigarette. And I was on the side of the house because I didn't want her to see me. Like, I was gonna leave. I was gonna do it. I was gonna leave. That was my whole plan. But she ended up coming outside, and she seen me. And when she seen me, she screamed so loud, and it scared me. Like, oh my God, the neighbors are gonna hear. And I just swung on her. I swung on her with the machete, and I blacked out. So I don't really remember me attacking her because I blacked out, but I do remember her daughter coming to save her. And I'm not gonna lie, her daughter was like 12 years old, and her daughter came to save her mom, and she grabbed the machete. And when I was blacked out, I felt like someone tugging on the machete. So that's when I came to reality, and I was like, oh my God, this is a child. And I pulled it back. And when I pulled it back, it like cut her thumb off, basically. So after I pulled it back and it cut her thumb off, I was like freaking out because I'm back in reality. Like, I seen what I just did. Blood was everywhere. The lady was on the floor, and I just did not know what to do. So I was just like, I'm so sorry. Please call an ambulance, but I gotta go. And I left. And when I got back in the car, my co-defendants were like, what happened? Like, did you do it? Like, what's wrong? Why are you still crying? And I was just like, drive the car. Like, please drive the car. Get me away from here. One thing I do remember telling my mom is like, if you have anything happen to this lady, like, the cops are gonna come knocking on your door first, because everybody knows that you don't like this lady don't like you. And she used to always tell me like, blah blah blah, like, don't jinx me, that's not gonna happen, I got this. And what happened? They came knocking on her door as soon as it happened. So we're in the car, we're driving, we're gonna go drop off one of my co-defendants because he really didn't have anything to do with it, honestly. So we just go drop him off. And so while we're in the car, my mom calls me and she's like, did you do it? And I was just like, yeah, I did it. And she was just like, oh my God. And I was like, yeah, I did it, and I'm not coming home. Like, I don't want to talk to you. I was just crying. I was just like, in that moment, I was just so mad that she made me do this. And so I was just like, I don't want to talk to you. I'm gonna go stay with my boyfriend for a little bit. Like, just leave me alone. And she was just like, I'm gonna come to you. Like, I'm gonna get in the truck and I'm gonna come to you, and you can tell me what happened. We can figure this out, like, what to do next. And I was just like, no, like, you need to stay home with my brothers. Like, someone has to be there with my brothers because the cops are gonna come questioning you, and you just need to be there with my brothers. Don't worry about me. I don't want to see you. And I hung up the phone. So me and my boyfriend get to his house, like the area around his house, and my mom just keeps calling my phone. And when I answered, it was the police. And when I heard it was the police, I immediately hung up the phone because I was scared. Like, why are they questioning me? Like, I should have no parts. That's where my mind was at. And I just hung up the phone, and I didn't know what to do. I was just crying. So I was asking my boyfriend, like, what do we do? Do we go on the run until this dies down because I feel like they have no proof? Or do I just talk to the police and, like, let them question me how they want to question me? And he was just like, it's whatever you want to do. So I ended up calling my Nana because my mom said that I could trust her. So I called my Nana and I told her to come pick me up because I needed to go to the house where the cops were and basically go with them so they can question me. So, mind you, my boyfriend had already took the evidence and hid it somewhere. So my Nana gets there. She's like, what happened? What did you do? And I was just like, I don't want to talk about it. I just need you to take me back to my mom's house. The cops are there. And I was like, I was crying so bad. I told my boyfriend, like, where's my stuff? Like, I'm thinking my phone or something like that. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was like, where's my stuff? And I guess me crying was making him nervous. He was like, I'm gonna go get your stuff. And he came back with the evidence. And I was just like, why do you have that? Like, it don't need to be out here around us. And my Nana was just like, put it in the back of my car. I'll get rid of it. Remember that. Remember what I just said, okay? So he puts the evidence in the back of her car, and I give him a hug, a little kiss, and we go our separate ways. And so me and my nana are in the car, and she's just asking me what happened. And I was just like, I did something, and the cops want to talk to us. I don't know what to do. My mom, I did it for my mom, and she was just like, I'm gonna get you out of this. We're gonna get you out of this. And so we get to my mom's house, and like my victim's road is closed off. The road, like the highway, is closed off. My mom's road is closed off. And when I get there, it's like a million cop cars, and they're shining light on the car because I guess they're trying to see like who's in the car. And they were like, "Are you Hannah Fine?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm getting out. Like, I'm coming to talk." And so when I got out the car, the police immediately turned me around and put me in handcuffs. And the first thing I said was, "Where are my brothers? Like, where are my brothers? Who's with my brothers?" Because I seen that my mom was already in the cop car. She was just staring at me. And I just did not know what to do because my brothers are by themselves. They're in there with a police. But I ended up seeing some of my mom's family, like her sister and stuff, out there. So I was like, okay, they're going to be with my aunt. They're okay. So I ended up going to the back of the cop car with them. And we drive to the police station, and basically I was in there for like how long, like 6 hours. I was in there for 6 hours, from like 10 at night to 6 in the morning. I was in there handcuffed to a table, and they was just questioning me, questioning my mom. And at first we weren't saying nothing, and they were actually going to release us because they really had no evidence, but they wanted the phone. So mind you, my phone that I had was in my nana's car. I left it, and they were calling her asking for my phone, and they were like, "Is there anything else in the car that you need to tell us about? Or is there anything that Hannah told you that you need to tell us?" And she was like, "Her boyfriend put something in my car. I don't know what it was, but he put something in the back of my car." So they tell her to pull up to the police station so they can get the evidence. And she was just saying, like, she don't know what it was. She has no clue what he put back there. And basically, when they took the evidence to my mom to show her, my mom said something. And then they came in my room, and they put her statement in front of my face and was like, "You're finna go to prison for the rest of your life. You're a murderer. Your mom told on you. Here's the statement of what she said. And here's the evidence we have on you." All the pictures in front of me, the statement in front of me, my victim in front of me. And I was just like, what? And so I'm reading the statement, and my mom basically turned her back on me. My mom said that I was crazy, schizophrenic. She had no idea what I wanted to do, what I planned on doing. She had no intentions on ever hurting this lady. I was jealous of the lady, and she was just throwing me under the bus to basically save her and basically say F her daughter. Yeah. So I'm going to stop the video here because it's already a little long. But yeah, that's what happened. My mom turned her back on me, and what happens after is even more crazy than what I just said. So thank y'all for supporting me and wanting to hear my story. Just continue to like, share, follow me for the next part, and we're going to keep the ball rolling. I got sentenced to 200 months in state prison. So let's start part 4 onto why I went to prison for premeditated attempted murder. So where I last left off was when my mom turned her back on me and just threw me under the bus like I was nothing. So after my mom threw me under the bus, I just started crying hysterically because I was just terrified. Like, my heart was broken. So the cops were just like, "I'm going to go to prison for the rest of my life. I'm a murderer. My mom sold me out." Just a whole bunch of crazy stuff. And basically, I was just like, "Bro, like, I would tell you, like, what happened if y'all just stopped talking to me like this? Like, please stop, please stop." Like, I was just hysterically crying. So I ended up telling them, "Yes, I did it, but can I just tell y'all why I did it? Like, I'm not a murderer for real. I'm not a bad person. I'm not a violent person. Please just listen to my story." So after I told them the story, you know, what I told y'all in the other clips, they were just literally lost for words. Like, they didn't know what to do after that. Oh, I do remember that my phone that they had was sitting, like, on the table in front of me, and it just kept ringing and ringing and ringing, and it was my dad. So literally, I just started begging them to answer the phone because I was terrified and I wanted my dad. Like, I never should leave that at my dad's house. And I thought he was going to be mad at me, but when they answered the phone, he was just like, he was scared because, you know, I'm his daughter, his only daughter. And he was like, "Hannah, whatever you do, just wait till you get a lawyer. Don't tell him nothing." Like, he didn't even know what was going on. He just knew what my nana called and told him. So I'm still crying, and I just tell him, like, it's too late. Like, I already told them what I did, and I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what's going to happen to me, but I already told them. And he just got quiet. So it's like 6 o'clock in the morning now. They still don't know what to do with us or what to do with me because I'm a child, and the information I just said, the information my mom said, the information my nana said, like, they just don't know what to do. So eventually they ended up taking my mom to county jail, and they ended up taking me to juvenile. So once I get to the juvenile facility, they housed me, and I really don't know what to say about my time in juvenile because I was only there for a week, and then after that week they transferred me to county jail because I was being tried as an adult. So I get to county jail, they transferred me and my co-defendant, and he goes to the juvenile pod for boys. I go to the infirmary because they don't have a juvenile pod for females. I was literally the only female juvenile in county jail. So I was housed in the infirmary. And I got some stories about the infirmary, but it really wasn't that bad. Like, the guards, they were very nice to me. They ended up putting a TV in my room. I could watch TV all night. I was able to use the phone all day, call my dad, just calling my dad all day. I know I was bugging him. I had food. My dad sent me packages. Like, it wasn't bad. But get back on track. I ended up doing 15 months in county jail because my mom decided to take her case to trial. I pleaded guilty, but I still had to wait for my mom's trial to be over for me to get sentenced and for my co-defendants to get sentenced. So my time in county, I had this lawyer that my dad had offered me, and he always came to see me, basically just keeping me updated on like the things my mom was saying. And some of the things that my mom was saying was actually pretty wild. My mom was doing and saying anything to get out of this situation and just leave me in it to deal with it by myself. So I found out that my mom said I was jealous of my victim because I was in a relationship with my stepdad. So when I heard that, I was just heartbroken, crying again. I did a lot of crying. So 15 months go by of dealing with this, and my mom's trial finally comes up, and basically she had her side and I had my side. So after the trial was over, she ended up being found guilty. And then, shortly after, we had our sentencing date. And so the day of sentencing, I got sentenced first, and the judge sentenced me to 200 months. So that's 16 years. Now, when he said 200 months, I didn't know how long 200 months was. So I started counting on my fingers, and I ran out of fingers, and I was like, that's 10 years. Like, how long is 200 months? Like, why ain't nobody telling me how many years 200 months is? Like, I was starting to freak out a little bit. And my dad, he basically just stormed out of the courtroom crying. My family, they was all crying. I was crying. They had to get me to the back, and that's when my lawyer told me, like, Hannah, 200 months is 16 years. And when I heard the years that I got, I just fell down to the ground crying. Like, at this time, I was 17 now, and I just felt like my life was over. I felt like I was never going to have a life. And honestly, I just wanted to die. Like, I did not want to be here anymore. I felt like my life was over. So they take me back to county jail, and when I got back there, like, a lot of the guards was waiting for me, and some of them was even crying. So they take me to the office where my therapist was at. Her name was Miss Fry. I will never forget her. She was such a sweet lady. But she was in there with a couple of the officers that I got close with that really looked out for me. And we're all just crying because they didn't think I was going to get that much time. I'm going to stop the story here. So if you want to hear how long my mom got and what happened when we got transferred to prison, just give me a like, a comment, and a follow. And part 5 will be here shortly. Part 5 onto why I went to prison for premeditated attempted murder. So to everybody who's new here, my name is Hannah, and I got locked up for premeditated attempted murder. Basically, I was manipulated by my mother, and basically she wanted me to unalive her husband's mistress, and I ended up attacking her with a machete. And yes, it sounds bad. It's like a Lifetime story, I already know. But to catch up on everything, part 1 through 4 is already uploaded on my TikTok. So now for the big question. My mother ended up getting 55 years. So after we were all sentenced, they ended up moving me from the infirmary to the adult pod. But since I was still underage, I had to be locked in the cell 24 hours. So mind you, my whole 15 months in county jail, I never seen my mom. But when they moved me to the adult pod, I was able to see her through the window on the other adult pod, since we weren't able to be on the same pod with each other. And we would literally just look at each other, just like looking at each other. And then I started getting little notes on my breakfast trays from my mom. And on the little notes that she would send me, basically she was just telling me like everything I would need to take with me when I went to prison, stuff I couldn't take with me just because she already knew. And she would just tell me how much she loves me and she's sorry that we're going through this. And I used to look forward to getting those letters. I looked forward to getting those letters. Like, it just used to make my heart like so happy that my mom was writing me letters and talking to me. So after about like a week in county, after we were sentenced, we were shipped off to prison. And it was like 50 of us, and like all the women, they were all like handcuffed to each other, like one person here and then another person was right next to them, handcuffed and shackled. But since I was a baby, I couldn't be handcuffed to another adult woman because I was a child and she was an adult. And so when I seen all the women start coming in and stuff, I was just looking for my mom. Like, I was just looking for her just because I wanted to be next to my mom on this ride to prison. And I know y'all are thinking like, why were you looking for your mom? Why'd you want to be next to her? Why were you happy she was writing you notes? But at the end of the day, that was still my mother. And I was so scared of going to prison. I was so scared to go into prison that, sorry. So I was so scared to go into prison, and my mom was the only person I knew. Like, I've never been in this predicament before, and I'm literally, my mom's my mom. Like, I've known her my whole life. So I just felt comfortable being with her, even though of our situation and like her trying to manipulate me and throw me under the bus. I just still wanted my mother. So they started putting us on the bus, and all the adults went to like the back of the bus. And then on the front of the bus, it was a caged off area for like pregnant women, crazy people, and juveniles. So it was me. I sat next to a pregnant lady, and then another lady next to me that could not fit in the back. What broke my heart in that moment was when everybody was loading on the bus. My mom was kind of in the front, so she could choose wherever she wanted to sit. And instead of sitting in the seat right behind me, so we could talk or we could do whatever, because we haven't talked in 15 months. And that's all I wanted to do. Like, it was going to be like a 5-hour drive. And I just wanted to sit there and talk to my mom. And she didn't want to be by me, I guess. So she went to the back of the bus. So on the whole ride there, everybody was just talking and laughing, and people kept saying to me, "Oh my God, Hannah, you're so pretty. You look just like your mom. She told us so many things about you. You're just so pretty. Oh, you're such a baby." And I was just like, okay, like my mom, she talked good about me, but why didn't she want to sit next to me? And it was this one girl, and she was like, she called me like fine, like trying to hit on me. And my mom stood up and was like, "That's a child, like that's my baby, like don't even try her like that." And then after that, she didn't say nothing else. So we all finally get to the reception center in Ocala, and the reception center is a process. You gotta check in, they gotta get your name, everything. Then you go to the back, they make you shower, they make you do your hair, you gotta squat and cough. Then they gave us a dress that we all had to put on, and we had to wait in the caged area. It was just a long process. At this point, all the guards knew that I was a juvenile and that I had to go to Lowell across the street to be in the YO camp since I couldn't be on the actual adult compound. So they told me, like, when I get done showering and everything, to go in the other room and not go in the caged area because other adults was in there and I wasn't supposed to be with adults. So when I got done showering, I was walking past the cage, and my mom was like, "Hannah, come here." And so I looked around, there was no guards to tell me, "Hey, you can't go in there." So I ended up going in the cage, and I sat next to my mom. And I was like, "What do you want?" And she was like, "Are you okay? How do you feel? Do you have everything you need? Do you need anything?" And I was just mad because you didn't talk to me for 5 hours when you could have been literally right behind me, face to face, talking to me. And she was like, "Oh, I'm just saying." I was like, "No, like, you want to be a mom now? Like, you want to look out for me now? No, bro, I'm good." And then the police see me and was like, "Fine, come in his room." So, of course I ended up tearing up, and I was just like, "I love you." And I walked off. So they ended up transferring me across the street to Low, put me in the YO camp, and it was like a boot camp. Not gonna lie, it was like a boot camp. I'll tell y'all more details or more stories about my time in the YO camp and my time in prison and stuff if y'all want to know. But basically, like, when I was there, like, I was very angry, and I had stopped believing in God. Like, in county, I was like trying to talk to the devil, like, "Oh my God, if you would just give me my freedom and take all this away, like, I would do anything for you." Because I was just so upset that God let me go through all this. So during my time of me not believing in God, which I believe in him now, like, that is my Lord and Savior, and I love him so much. But during my time of me not believing in him, like, I was just getting in trouble. I was fighting because I was the baby, and people would like try to daughter me, or they would like get jealous because of their girlfriend talking to me. It was just a lot, and I was a baby, so I just had to prove myself to them. And I kept putting in motions and appeals, and it just kept getting denied. So I got denied twice, but my lawyer ended up putting in my third motion. So on this one specific day, I got into a fight, and basically they gave me a battery, and which it wasn't a battery, but they didn't see the other girl hit me back. So they took us all to jail, and when I was in confinement, I was in a cell by myself. I wasn't allowed to be housed with another YO due to my time and my charges, because at the time I had 16 years. But so I kept getting Bible studies slipped under my door, and I was just like, I don't want these. Like, I don't believe in God right now. I don't want them. But one day, I just got bored, so I picked it up and I started doing it. So they ended up transferring me to another confinement pod called Tango because I was getting declassified, which means I was going to be on the adult pod because I was of age now and I just had a lot of time in the YO camp. They didn't want me being around the other YOs for too long. So I ended up being in confinement for 3 months, and I was starting to want to pray, but I was just like, no, like, I don't want to pray. But it just kept coming to my mind to pray. So I'm still getting these Bible studies, and I'm slowly doing them. And then one day, I don't know what happened, but one day I just started crying. Like, I just started crying, and I was just crying to God. Like, I literally got off my bunk and got down on my knees and was praying and talking and yelling to him. Like, I was saying, God, please help me. Please get me out of this situation. Like, there's no way I could do 16 years. Like, my life is going to be over. Please just let me go home to my family, like my brothers. Like, I miss them so much. Like, just please help me at least lower my time. Like, please just, you don't have to send me home now, but just lower my time. And I was just like, I promise I will never turn my back on you again. Like, I was just mad at you, but I really love you. I was just mad at you. I will never turn my back on you again. And it was a lot. Like, I was just having like a mental breakdown. So after I get done crying and praying to God, I'm finally calmed down. Like, I felt a lot better. And I was like, I'm just gonna go take a nap. So right before I fell asleep, a guard came to my door and was like, fine, you got some mail. Like, come get it. So I got up to go get my mail. And when I looked down, it was a letter from my lawyer. And when I opened it, like, I opened it so fast because, like, I don't ever get letters from him. And so when I opened up my letter, basically he told me that my motion was approved and that I had court, like, after my birthday. So I immediately start crying because I kept getting denied. Like, my emotions got denied, my appeals got denied. And so I just found it crazy. Like, after I just got done praying to God and telling him that I was never going to turn my back on him again, as soon as I got done doing that, I get a letter from my lawyer saying that my motion finally got approved. And I was just crying and crying and crying because, like, God really did that. Like, all he wanted was for me to believe in him. All he wanted was me to love him and for me to put him first, and he was going to help me. But he wasn't going to help me if I kept denying him and turning my back on him. So they eventually let me out of confinement, and they ended up shipping me back to the reception center because GP, which is general population, were also allowed to be there, not just the receptionists, the RNOs. So they ended up shipping my mom to Lowell. So I did a lot of time at the reception center, and I also did some time at Homestead. But during this time, which if y'all want to know about my time there, y'all just ask and I would tell y'all, I'll give y'all story times because it's some crazy things that went down. But after my birthday, I turned 19. I ended up going to court. I think I went to court on June 24th. Or no, I think that's the day I got sentenced, was like re-sentenced, was June 24th. But I ended up going to court, and when I went in there, my lawyer was there, the state attorney was there, and she was kind of like on my side. Like, she did not want me to get that long. And so I talked to the judge, and basically he just said he was going to give me a chance. He said he was going to give me a chance to get my life together and to fix myself. And he took back like 9.5 years, and I only had to do 7. I ended up getting like some game time and stuff. So instead of doing like 8-ish, I was only able to do 7, which I am so grateful for. And it's all because of God. And I just love him so much. And I'm just so appreciative and blessed for the blessing that he gave me to fix myself and to get myself together and to build a life for me, because I have a purpose and I'm slowly figuring out what my purpose is. So if y'all want to know more stories, or if there's any questions y'all have, just ask me and we can keep it going. But yeah, this is my story and this is my testimony. It's all because of God.
You and your friend decide that you want to entertain the thought of having a 2-man. You say yes, she says yes, y'all get dressed, y'all go over there. You get over to said two man's house and there's only one man there. He then says his friend is at a bar and he'll be over later. Then asks you ladies if you would like to get something to drink. He comes out of the store with said bottle that is actually a pint for all three of you to drink on. You laugh at your friend to the point where you get a cramp in your stomach. She says, are we still going to go through with this? You say, yes, we have to go through with the plot because the plot is going to thicken. We go into the house. She sits on one side of the couch. You sit on the other side of the couch. He opens said bottle. He then gets up and puts on some music, takes off his shirt. Friend looks at you and says, I think it is Coke. He then says, hey, I have something that I need y'all to listen to. He puts on said SoundCloud music. He tells you how the song that he has you listening to is a song about his ex-girlfriend that he made. In the midst of the song that you and your friend are listening to, he starts crying. You and your friend look at each other and say, you know what? I think our time is up. We get ready to leave. He says, wait, don't leave. I was just about to get ready to cook. He then goes to the kitchen, ruffling pots and pans around with each other, so you think that he's really about to get ready to burn some things. You look over and he opens up a vegan box of macaroni and cheese and takes said cheese out of that, puts some chips on a plate, warmed it up, takes the plate out of said microwave, throws on a little bit of salsa from the refrigerator, and says that the food is ready. You don't even put your shoes on. It's raining outside, and you run so fast out of the house that you can't even believe that said plot had thickened as bad. 15 minutes outside of the time that you and your friend run out of this man's house after he tries to feed you vegan cheese, salsa, and chips, the second two man calls you and say, hey, I just got over here. Why'd y'all leave? Quick, what's your answer?
This is what happens when a parent completely abandons their responsibility and uses their child as a weapon. That girl was 16. She should have been thinking about school and boys and friends. Instead, she's raising 5 brothers, cooking, doing homework, getting ready for bed, being a mom, while her actual mom is stalking pages on her phone, obsessing over her husband's affair. And then, her mom didn't just neglect her, her mom drugged her. That's not manipulation, that's poisoning. Giving her antipsychotics and antidepressants she didn't need, putting drugs in green tea, breaking her mind on purpose. And the reason? To make her unstable enough to commit murder. That's calculated evil. That's not a parent. That's a monster wearing a parent's skin. Because a real parent protects. A real parent shields their kid from evil. But Hannah's mom was the evil. She was the threat in the house. The pressure game is real too. The mom had deadlines. Midnight Madness, a fair, was used as leverage. If you don't kill this woman, you can't go to the fair with your boyfriend. You're grounded. You're stuck here forever with these kids, with me, with this crazy energy. That's manipulation on steroids. Using a teenager's desire for freedom against them. Using their love of normal teenage stuff against them. Using their own hormones and their need to escape as a weapon. What kills me is that girl knowing in her spirit it was wrong. She got to that house. She saw the victim doing homework with her kids at the kitchen table. And something in her said, no, this lady doesn't deserve this. She has kids just like my mom has kids. I would die for my brothers. How would I feel if somebody came to kill their mom? That's humanity breaking through the brainwashing. That's a child's conscience fighting against a parent's evil. That's the part of her that wasn't poisoned yet, that wasn't broken yet, that still had a moral compass even after everything her mom had done to her. And she almost walked away. She almost saved herself. She was standing outside that door thinking, please don't come out. Please don't see me. I'm leaving. I'm going back to my dad's. I'm taking my brothers. She had an exit. She had a way out. She was literally one moment away from choosing life over her mom's insanity. But then the lady came outside to smoke a cigarette. And that scream, that fear, that human sound of terror triggered something in Hannah. She blacked out. Her mind went somewhere else. And when she came to, she realized what she'd done. There was blood everywhere. The victim was on the floor. And worst of all, there was a 12-year-old daughter trying to save her mom. A child. A little girl grabbing the machete to protect her mother. Getting her thumb cut off in the process. That's the moment that snapped Hannah back to reality, the horror of what she'd done, the realization that she almost became a murderer, that she almost took a mother away from her children, just like her own mother almost took her away. The worst part comes after, though. When she got arrested, when she confessed everything, when she laid out the whole story to the cops, explaining the drugging, the pressure, the deadlines, the manipulation, all of it. Her mom threw her under the bus, said she was jealous of the victim, said she was schizophrenic, said she had no idea what her daughter was planning, said Hannah was just some crazy teenager obsessed with her stepdad. That's not just a lie. That's turning the narrative upside down. That's a parent choosing themselves over their child, choosing freedom over their daughter's future. And Hannah, even after being betrayed, even after her mom made her do this, still wanted her mom, still looked for her on the bus ride to prison, still wanted to sit next to her because she was scared. Because even after everything, she was 16 years old and her mom was all she had. Her mom was all she knew. The system got her, though. 200 months. That's 16 years. At 17 years old, she got sentenced to 16 years in prison. Do the math. She wouldn't get out until she was 33. Her whole life gone. Her 20s gone. Her formative years gone. And the judge didn't see a manipulated child. He saw premeditated attempted murder. He saw criminal intent. He didn't see that she was drugged, pressured, coerced, emotionally abused, and used by the one person who was supposed to protect her. He saw the crime, not the circumstances. He saw the act, not the abuse that led to it. But here's what gets me about the system. It's designed that way. It doesn't care about context when you're tried as an adult. It doesn't care about your age or your vulnerability or your manipulation. It looks at what you did and punishes you for it. And yeah, she did attack someone with a machete. Yeah, that's serious. But she did it under duress, under the influence of drugs her mother gave her, under psychological pressure from her mother for months. The law should have seen that. The judge should have seen that. But he didn't. Her time in county jail was brutal. 15 months handcuffed to a table while they questioned her and her mom. Waiting while her mom's trial went on. Waiting while everything fell apart. And her dad, when he finally got the call, he told her to wait for a lawyer. Don't say anything. But she'd already confessed. She'd already broken under the pressure of being told she was a murderer, being told she was going to prison for the rest of her life. That's what the cops do. They break you psychologically before you even have representation. Then she got transferred to juvenile for a week, then to county jail, where she was the only female juvenile. The guards were kind to her, put a TV in her room, let her call her dad all day. But kindness from guards doesn't change the fact that you're locked up. It doesn't change the weight of your sentence. It doesn't change that you're 17 and your whole life has been decided.